Good morning. We're here today with Catherine, founder of Yorkshire Pasta. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
Can you please introduce yourself and the company?
So I'm Catherine, I'm the founder of the Yorkshire Pasta Company. We came up with the idea in 2019, we launched in 2020, so it's been a very exciting journey for us.
Fantastic. So, based on what you just said, what were the milestones of forming a company? And as far as I know, I don't really think you have many British direct competitors.
No, so my background's always been within food. My previous role was in quite a big corporate company, a role within Nestle. So in project management and product development. But I've always had a passion for savoury food in particular. We were on a family holiday halfway up a mountain, just chatting and having a walk. We were walking for what felt like hours. And my husband and I had this discussion about pasta, and it's something I've always loved and thought, well, why is no one making it in Britain with British flour, especially with people looking for packaging that wasn't plastic and looking to not import products where they could find high quality products close to home. So with that, it became a bit of an adventure of Googling and researching, driving around farm shops and delis, seeing what was there. And every time opening a door and expecting to see a British pasta on the shelf and realising there was a massive space. So farm shops and delis and independents, they all carry a pasta, whether it's something that's sort of low end, that's mass manufactured and can be bought in a supermarket, often for cheaper, or a really high quality premium pasta that's imported from Italy, that then again is at a really high price point. So we saw this gap in the middle for something that was British with locally milled wheat flour, that was in paper, so without any plastic, where you had the provenance of the ingredients, you knew where it was being made, a small business in England. So I quit my job and had to follow. I had such a passion for this and making it work. So we set off, that was March 2019. It took a whole year to not only research and understand and go to Italy how you make high quality pasta, but also understand the ingredients, what makes a really good flour for pasta. And also the packaging aspect. So trying to strip out plastic from packaging was as much of a challenge as finding the recipe and the ingredients that we needed to make good quality pasta. But one of the biggest things for us was traveling to Italy, understanding how traditional artisan pasta is made and how different it is from mass manufactured pasta that we have in the supermarkets here. So at that point, it really, really struck up this fire inside to make a good quality pasta that I'd not eaten in this country before. So just those traditional techniques for us is a huge thing, and developing that amount of flavour in a pasta that you're not used to tasting, and the texture, it's just so different from something that you would find on that supermarket shelf. And I think that's why so far Yorkshire Pasta has done so well. We've got a really good amount of listings, we're winning awards, and also that sustainability angle's really helped as well, connecting with consumers and them understanding where the products come from, where the ingredients are come from, who's making their food, and enjoying a really high quality pasta that's British.
Fantastic. So you did mention a couple of times Europe and Italy. So what differentiates your pasta from European and Italian pasta manufacturers?
Yeah, so for us, there's a big spectrum of different pasta manufacturers. So you have mass manufactured pasta, and that could be made within Europe, within Italy, in America. But the main thing for us is the difference that we're making a pasta that's very much like those small artisan manufacturers in Italy. So the old standing recipes, the traditional techniques, a big factory will churn pasta out in 2 hours. So they'll make pasta from flour and put it into a plastic bag. The whole process takes 2 hours. Our process takes 2 full days. Okay, so we dry the pasta overnight at a really gentle temperature. We have these really beautiful wooden racks, and we lay the pasta on these racks, and it dries overnight at a very gentle temperature, and you actually develop flavour. So a little bit like making a bread or a beer, you're letting the flavour of the wheat develop. It almost matures through the night. So by giving the pasta time and the right conditions, it develops that beautiful flavour. And another difference is a big factory. They make the shapes using plastic moulds. We invested in the traditional bronze metal moulds. They're called dies. They really are an investment, but for us, it's something that sets apart traditional artisan pasta from bright yellow shiny pasta in a supermarket. It's the bronze metal. As it warms the dough and creates a shape, it gives a really, really rough surface. So every single piece has that ability to soak up sauce and it clings to it. So the dish of pasta itself is a really cohesive meal, as opposed to, your bright yellow shiny pasta in a supermarket where your sauce just slides off and it's swimming about in the bottom of a bowl. You create an amazing dish of pasta when you use properly bronze drawn and slow dried pasta. And then the main difference, I'd say, of ours as opposed to the imported Italian pastas is the flour. We're not using a durum wheat pasta. We're using a blend of flours that are all local to us here. So we're using a British mill flours. We have a local mill just down the road. And the blend is something that does live up and match semolina flour, but it's something that is available here. My background working in confectionery, I was very familiar with wheat flour, using it for biscuits and wafers. So I was able to use that sort of knowledge and also connection with millers to understand why semolina flour is traditionally used in Italy, and what we have in this country that could compare and match. And in doing so, we've created a really beautiful recipe. Our products are quite robust. They've got a real wholesome texture. The taste is beautiful. And then we're able to have really low food miles. We can trace the farms where the flour comes from. So it really does set it apart. In the product, and also one of the big differences, sort of breaking the mold, as it were, is not packing in plastic. It does take a lot more time and it is a lot more of an investment in our materials, but because we're creating a high quality product, the price point delivers there for us with the ingredients and the packaging. But just having the paper, and I say it took so long to try and develop this. We worked with over 40 different packaging producers. Everyone was pointing us down the route of using plastic, being able to heat seal packaging, being able to have a plastic window to see the product. But for us, it was really important that we were going to do everything as sustainable as possible. So eventually we got the paper packaging. We developed a way of sealing it, having it food safe, and a durable paper as well. The bags that you find flour in and sugar just wouldn't hold, a bag of pointy penne pasta. So for us, it had to be really robust and durable and food safe. But there's a lot of different things that we go into, not just with the ingredients, but our process. So everything runs using solar energy. We don't have food waste. We use paper tape for sealing parcels. So we try and reduce waste, be as green as possible through the whole process, which when you're setting up a business from scratch, it's nice because you can do things from the beginning how you want to continue.
Fantastic. So I know you're only 3 years old as a company. But what are your future ambitions and plans? Where do you see yourself in the next few years?
So for us, it's just so exciting. We absolutely adore our products. We've got the range of 5 at the moment. So in the future, we definitely want to expand that. But for us, it was important in the early days just to establish ourselves as British pasta manufacturers, and for Yorkshire pasta to become known. So we're working really hard to get listings. We've now creeping up towards 500 farm shops, delis and independents.
Wow.
And that's just within those first sort of 2.5 years of launch. But for us, it's now important that the consumers are more aware of us. So rather than just accidentally finding us on a shop shelf, we want them to be going into the shop looking for us. And if we're not there, asking the owner, oh, have you heard of this British pasta? Why not sell it? But we find it's happening organically. So we've just secured a listing and we're on the shelves as of the 1st of November with Harrods, which is incredible. We couldn't have thought that would happen so soon. And just loads of high-end independents, and each one of those is a little milestone in itself. We're enjoying this year getting out. Having launched in lockdown, there were no farm shop like sort of markets and tasting events and food shows. So it's been really great to be able to go to more of those this year. So connecting with the consumers as well and the general public. But on top of that, it'd be nice to get, some more variants available to sell. We know that the pasta's good, people enjoy it and are buying it now. So it's looking at the next step, and a little bit of NPD would be nice.
Fantastic. It's just 12:30 here. I need to go for lunch now. It's been mouth-watering. Kathleen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you soon, hopefully.
Thank you very much for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.